students, welcome to Mercy Sandipani School. My name is Urvesh Yadav and I am teaching mathematics in a grade 8. So students, today we are going to discuss about the rational number, chapter number 1. So here we are going to understand the concepts of the rational number. So earlier we already know that there are 4 types of numbers. Earlier we already understood about the natural number, whole number, integers, and now in a grade 7 you already understood rational number. Now here we will understand and we will do the activity in a deeply about the rational numbers. So guys, you already know that the numbers which is in a form of P upon Q is known as rational number. So rational numbers may or it can be a whole number, it can be a natural number, it can be an inverse number. But all the rest of the three may or may not be rational numbers. Here we have one condition that if a number in a format of P upon Q, but the condition is the Q should be non-equal to 0. For example, if I say if P in a format of P upon Q, if Q is equals to 0, let's take an example that 2 upon 0. So when we divide something by 0, then we cannot find the answer. So it will be known as infinite. Infinite means not finite. Okay guys? Now before we start the whole chapter, let's take a quick snap that what we are going to discuss in the chapter. So first of all, you already know that what is the importance of a 0 and 1. But here we will understand what is the importance of a 0 and 1 in a rational numbers. Second thing is, here are some of the properties. First one is closure property, second one commutative property, third associativity property, fourth distributive property, fifth additional inverse, and sixth multiplicative inverse. Now for this particular start from first, second and third, we need to understand that these three properties, what is the reaction in a mathematics basic 4 process, that is in addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So let's start with the same, that what is the importance of a 0 and 1. So already we discussed, if 2 is divided by 0, then the answer will be the infinite. Now similarly, if I say something like 2 plus 0, 0 plus 2, here you can easily see that when I am adding a 0 in a 2 or I am adding 0 into the 2, the result remains same. So we can say that, and second, similarly we can take an example for the subtraction as well. If we divide 2 minus 0 is equals to 0 minus 2, the answer remains same. So we can say that for the addition and for the subtraction, that the 0 is not affecting to the answer. There is no change in our answer. But if I imply the same thing for the multiplication, then the answer would be correct. It's a 0. Similarly, if I say for a division, now here this will not equal. Reason, let's take 2 divided by 0, we took the example, that is infinite. And if I say 0 divided by 2, that is 0. So here is a difference between infinite and 0. 0 is in a numerical, the meaning is nothing, but infinite means we cannot find the answer of the same. Similarly, let's take an example for the same, for a 1. If I say 2 plus 1 is equals to 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. Okay. So we know that 2 plus 1, or else if I say 1 plus 2, answer remains same, that is 3. But similarly, if I say 2 if I say 2 minus 1 and 1 minus 2, again this will not going to be equal. Why? Because of 2 minus 1 is equals to 1 and 1 minus 2 is equals to minus 1. So here this is the sign is about to change. See the importance of a 1 in a addition and also in a subtraction. Now let's take another examples for a multiplication and for the division. So for a multiplication we can say both are same, that is 2 ones are, or else I say 1 to the answer will be same, that is 2. And if I say, let's take example for the division. So again the answer is about to change. Let's say 2 divided by 1 will not equal to 1 divided by 2. Because of 2 divided by 1, the answer remains same, that is 2. But if I say 1 upon 2, the answer will be 0.5. So these are not equal. So we can say that, hence we can say that the 1 is non-affecting in a multiplication and in a division. The answer remains same. If I say 1 to the 1 divided by 2, it's the same in a division. Clear? I will take a 3 rational numbers. That is, for example, a upon b is equals to 1 upon 5, c upon d is equals to 2 upon 5, and e upon f is equals to 3 upon 5. For a better understanding, I am taking this number for understanding only. So now, what is the meaning of a closure property? So if I say, let's take a 2 number or a 2 rational number, and we will do the process of addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division. If we are getting a rational number, then the number is said to be a closure. If we are not getting a rational number, then it will be say like it's not a closure number for the rational number for particular process only. So let's say a upon b plus c upon d. So here a upon b is 1 upon 5, 1 upon 5 plus 2 upon 5. What will be the answer? That is 1 plus 2, 3 upon 5. See, 3 upon 5 is a rational number. So we can say that the closure property is applicable. So here we will write applicable. Okay. Now, if I say for a subtraction, what we can say, 1 minus 2, we know the answer, that is minus 1 upon 5. See, here also we are getting a minus 1 upon 5. So we can say that here closure property is applicable. Yes. In a subtraction is also yes. Now let's move ahead for the multiplication. So what will be the answer for multiplication? Let's understand. So 2 ones are 2, 5 5s are 25. So the answer is 2 upon 25. So that 2 upon 25 is also a rational number. So again, in a multiplication we can say that yes, the closure property is applicable. Now let's go ahead for the division. So for a division, we already know the process that what we will do, we will convert into the multiplication and we will do the reciprocal of the second term, which we already learned in a grade 7. So put the 1 upon 5 at the same place, multiply by reciprocal of 2 upon 5, that is 5 upon 2. Now, how we will go ahead? So, 5 ones are 5 upon 5 twos are 10. So, 5 upon 10. We can easily write 1 upon 2. So, this format and this both the format are a rational number. So, here also we can say that for a division, the closure property is applicable. Now students, let's go ahead for the second property, that is commutative property. So here in a commutative property we will understand that if in case for a natural number I am just explaining, that is a plus b is equals to b plus c. If we are getting this relation, then and then we will say that for the number the commutative property is applicable. So here for the rational number we will take a upon b plus c upon d is equals to c upon d plus a upon b. So in short we can say that when we are changing the sequence of our numbers in an addition process, if the result is changing, then we will say that the commutative property is not applicable, and if we are getting the same result, then we will say the commutative property is applicable. So now let's take, here we already took the example that a upon b is equals to 1 upon 5, c upon d is equals to 2 upon 5. So let's apply 1 upon 5 plus 2 upon 5. Let's check is it same or not. So here we will say 2 upon 5 plus 1 upon 5. We know that the answer of 1 upon 5 plus 2 upon 5 is equals to 3 upon 5. Here also 2 upon 5 plus 1 upon 5 is equals to 3 upon 5. So hence we can say that this is are equal. So for an additional process, for a commutative property, for the rational number, the commutative property is applicable. Now let's understand for the subtraction. For the subtraction, see 1 upon 5 minus 2 upon 5. Here the denominator are the same, so we will write denominator 5. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Now 2 minus 1, 1 upon 5. So this both are does not equal. So both are not equals to the same. So that's why we can say that for the subtraction process, for the rational number, particularly for the commutative property, it is not applicable. Now let's go ahead for the multiplication. So in a multiplication, let's understand 2 ones are 2, 5 fives are 25, 2 twos are 2 ones are 2, 5 5 are 25. Hence we can say that both are equal. So for the rational number, for the multiplication property, the commutative property is applicable. Now let's move ahead for the division. For the division, we already know that for the division we will change the we will do the reciprocal of the second term. So 1 upon 5 multiplied by 5 upon 2. Here 2 upon 5 multiplied by 5 upon 1. Let's say what we are getting the answer, that is 5 ones are 5 upon 10. 5 twos are 10 upon 5. See here. So from the answer we can say that it does not equal. See, in a division, for the division process, for the rational numbers, the commutative property is not applicable. Let's go ahead with the third property, which is associative property. So now guys, what do you mean by associative property? It is a symbol that we are making some association in a given numbers. For example, let's take we having a 3 term, that is a plus b plus c, and again the same one. What we are doing? We are making a group, or we are making some association. For example, let's keep a aside and making a relation, that is b plus c. Let's check whether it's the same or not, that a plus b, by keeping a c aside. So let's take here in a rational number we will also going to understand that the same thing you should apply for the given number. For example, let's move ahead with the three numbers we have, that a upon b plus c upon d plus e upon f. A upon b, c upon d, e upon f. So here we will make a group. First we will take a group of c upon d plus e upon f, and second one a upon b plus c upon d. So now by putting such a value, you can identify whether the associativity property is applicable or not. So indirectly I am just giving answer. You can verify such a things from the given rational number, or else you can take another rational numbers as well. So for the addition, the associativity property will be the applicable. For a subtraction, it will be not applicable. For the multiplication, it will be applicable, and for the division, it will be not applicable. So guys, because of, let me just give you the small idea about it. Because of in a addition and in a multiplication, majorly for the all the three properties we seen that for the multiplication and for the addition, the property is applicable, and majorly in a subtraction and in a division the properties are not applicable. Guys, you can verify this identity or this property through the any rational number that you supposed to verify from with yourself only. Now students, let's understand the fourth property, that is distributive property. For in a distributive property, let's take an example, a into b plus c, and so for the sum, how we can write this? A multiplied by, in a bracket, b plus c is given. So we can write, let's take a will be multiplied with the b. Let's open the bracket. What we will get? A into b. In between that there is the plus sign. So plus will be there, and A will be multiplied with the C. So we can write A into C. See, first we will multiply with the A into B. Second one is A into C. Now, this thing also can be possible. It's like a vice versa. For example, we went to here, we went through the LHS to RHS. We can go for a RHS to LHS because of here you can see that in both the term A is common. So let's take a common and we will get A as a common, and in a bracket we will write B plus C. So such kind of a property is known as a distributive property. Again, for the same thing, if I say minus here, so here it will be also a minus. So it's the same, you can easily memorize this thing, that in a multiplication of a B plus or C bracket close is equals to the AB plus or minus AC. So this property is known as a distributive property. Now let's understand the fifth property, that is additive inverse. So students, here in additive inverse it's very much easy. Whatever the rational number or the numbers are given to us, we need to just change the sign. For example, here if I say A upon B is given as a rational number, so for the additive inverse it will become a minus A upon B. For example, if it's given like a minus A upon B, so we can write A upon B. So this property is known as additive inverse. Let's take an example that A upon B is equals to 1 upon 5. So for 1 upon 5, the additive inverse will be minus 1 upon 5. For example, if it's a minus 1 upon 5, so additive inverse of minus 1 upon 5 will become 1 upon 5. So this kind of a quality or this kind of a property is known as an additive inverse. Now let's take a multiplicative inverse, and this is the last property of rational numbers. Multiplicative inverse. Now in a multiplicative inverse it's the similar. We can say, for example, if I have a rational number A upon B, so if I want to write a multiplicative inverse, then what I can write is simple B upon A. This is multiplicative inverse. If I have another example, that is C upon D, I will write for the multiplicative inverse, I will write D upon C. See guys, here the sign will not going to be changed. The sign will only going to be changed in a additive inverse only. Now let's take an example for this one, that is A upon B. For A upon B we took the 1 upon 5. So 1 upon 5, what will be the additive inverse? Multiplicative inverse. The multiplicative inverse will be 5 upon 1. Similarly, for C upon D I can write 2 upon 5. The multiplicative inverse would be 5 upon 2. So such property is known as multiplicative inverse. Now students, as we discussed the 6 properties of a rational number, which will going to help you to solve the exercise 1.1. Now in a 1.1 there are several questions are there where you can solve all the questions from as we discussed 6 property only. Now we are going to forward for the next topic of a rational number, that is how we can denote rational numbers on number line. Now if I say I having a one rational number, that is a upon b is equals to 1 upon 5. Now I want to denote this 1 upon 5 on a number line. So first of all, to denote the 1 upon 5 on a number line, we need to find the range, that on a which range of a number line this 1 upon 5 will lie. Now to know that, what we will do, we will divide 1 by 5. So it's a very much easy. Here the 0 will be there, 0 point, we will put 0 here. So 5 2s are 10. So here is 0.2. So here 0.2 denotes that 1 upon 5 is lies between 0 to 1. For example, if we are thinking about a different number, if it starts with the 1 point something, 2 point something, 3 point something, so similarly we will say that it is lies between 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So it's a vice versa. First, before we denote a rational number on a number line, we supposed to find the range of that particular rational number where it will be lies. So now we get to know that 1 upon 5 will be lies between 0 to 1. So let's I'm taking I am just drawing a number line. Here I am marking 0. Here is a 1. Now here is a 5. Denominator is 5. So we need to divide this 0 to 1 into the 5 equal part. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here 0. So I can write 1 upon 5. This one is 2 upon 5. This is 3 upon 5. This is 4 upon 5. And here 5 upon 5 will become a 1. Now what I need to find, what I need to denote, that is 1 upon 5. So where is the 1 upon 5? Is here. So this point is 1 upon 5. We can say that this point is denotes the 1 upon 5 on a number line. So in such a manner you can denote a rational number on a number line. So students, now we reach to our last topic of a rational number, that is how we can find a rational numbers between given two rational number. So now our next topic is a rational numbers between two rational numbers. Let's take an example of the same, that is, if I want to find two rational numbers or sum of rational numbers between 1 upon 5 to 3 upon 2. So how we can find the rational numbers between these two rational numbers? To find the rational numbers in between of a two rational number, the condition is the denominator should be the same. Here, how we can set a denominator same, that is, let's take 1 upon 5 and 3 upon 2. Can I say, if I multiply by 2 with this number, and if I multiply this number by 5, so denominator can be same, 5 2s are 10 and 2 5s are 10. So let's multiply by 2 for this number. The answer would be 1 2s are 2 upon 10. Here we will multiply by 5. So answer would be 15 upon 10. So now this 1 upon 5 is become 2 upon 10, and this 3 upon 2 is become 15 upon 10. Now in between all the numbers, we can say it's the in between rational number of these two numbers. So we can write, for the in between rational number, we can write here, that is 3 upon 10, 4 upon 10, 5 upon 10 and so on up to 14 upon 10 is in between number of 1/5 to 3/2. So guys, now we have discussed the rational numbers on a number line, and rational numbers between two rational numbers is a, we can say we are getting the examples and the sums in an exercise number 1.2. So this all the properties are very much important. We have discussed all the important points of a rational numbers. You can refer example number 1 to 5 for the to solve the exercise number 1.2, 1.1, and they for example number 6 to 9 for solving the exercise number 1.2. Also we have already discussed all these points in a live session. So all the very best for the rational number, and do your best. All the very best. Have a great day.